So at what point does it turn bad between you and Billy? Because I know I witnessed some domestic violence shit, and me and Dre had to step in.
Yeah.
I remember that. So, was that the first time that me and Dre witnessed it, or was it?
That's probably like the second or third.
Really?
And that time, oh man, I remember that time. And then you had to take me all the way to the garage, because you had to wake me up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's deep.
When was that? You said that was the second or third time?
Yeah. Because there was times where, and I don't want to talk about, anything too personal, but when people get you to a certain point and you feel like there's no, his mode of operation would be, I ask him about a question, and when I get too angry, I like to leave the situation. Just let me out, just let me take a breathe, let me just walk it off. But his mode of response was to block the door and keep me in there. And then it just keeps escalating. And so when that happened, all I remember is I took a bar, because that was Reed's room. That was Reed's old room.
Mm-hmm.
And I held it up to say, hey, don't touch me anymore. Try to, intimidate. But then all of a sudden I woke up and I saw you, and Billy was trying to pour water down my mouth to wake me up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. And then you grabbed me, and then you took me down to the garage to let me know I was safe. That's a crazy moment.
Yeah, it was me and Dre, because we didn't know. It was in the middle of the night, so we didn't know. We got woke up to a bunch of commotion, and all I remember is you were like coming to, and me and Dre telling Billy chill. If she wants to leave, let her go, man. Let her go. And he was like, no, she don't need to go. And I'm like, dude, let her go. Let her go, man. Once cooler heads prevail, then y'all could come back and talk or whatever.
But right now, it was too intense.
Yeah.
And it was mostly, and it's just simple basic. It was just simple basic stuff. You got your phone tucked. You got this okay, if we're in a relationship, you asked me to be in this relationship. What are we doing? Where's the trust? What are we doing? And I would never just charge him up what. It was mostly just hey, okay, you're literally covering your phone with your foot, or putting it in a pillow, or you sneaking off, or you're leaving the house, or you're doing this, and it's it was weird. And I was I have a right to question that if we're in a relationship. And then it would be the responses, and then it's it just gets more intense and more intense and more intense, to the point where it's okay, let me just leave. Let me just take a break. Let me take a beat. Let me go out and regain my mind. But he wouldn't want me to leave the room. It was nah. And I'm well, why? And then that becomes a tussle. And then I got to prove myself hey, no, you can't just throw me around. So now I got to pretend like I can go forward.
Was both of y'all, because I don't want here's what I want to explain. Because I don't want to just put it where it's all the onus is on Billy.
Of course.
Were you being physically violent as well?
At certain points, absolutely.
Okay.
It goes back and forth. And then sometimes what I realize is you can be the most peaceful person, but if someone pushes you to that point, eventually it's you snap. And it's hey, dude, just let me out the room. And that's usually what it would be. Just let me out so I can go be peaceful and come back and we can talk about this like adults.
Yeah. So was more your frustration or anger was coming from him trying to hold you or trying to stop you from doing something, and then you would lash out? Is that?
It was that, and also I don't like when people try to play me and play with my intelligence. I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm like. I know what I saw. I know your actions. I know the situation. Don't try to play me. When you try to play me, that's going to piss me off. That's when I need to go walk.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to play me for stupid. Don't play my intelligence. And so, but the only time it would get violent like that would be when you're blocking me in and you don't let me just go get my peace, and then we could talk about it. Because you don't want to talk about it. You want to keep covering up and go into 5 different subjects and to like make my mind be like, oh, okay, well, what were we even talking about in the beginning? Oh, confusion. It's confusion. It's all that. And that's what I had to say. Okay, this is not real. This is toxic. You want to cause confusion for what? You don't want to be honest for what? And you want to create confusion and chaos. It's always confusion and chaos. And I can't operate like that.
Yeah. And is that one of the reasons, because you're saying that, you're not a quitter, is that kind of one of the reasons why you stay with him so long? Is because you like, I don't want to give up, or I'm not a quitter. I want to see this all the way through?
It was that. I'm not a quitter. I wanted to see it all the way through. I wanted to see him do better. But also at the same time, I also had a need to prove to people, like, especially with my family, I didn't make a bad decision. So it was more so like, okay, I know this is going on, but I'm telling you, he really is a good guy. It's trying to prove yourself. It's all these different levels. When you stay in that situation, and it's like you're trying to prove to everybody else, like, no, I got this. Or also, I can help you realize what's wrong with you, and then we can be good. It's like this whole, it's so many different levels to it.
Man. Okay. And then from there, how long do you guys stay in LA?
What was that, like 9-10 years?
So from 2012 to
2020? Literally like 20, almost, yeah, because we got out of, 2018 was when I moved from LA.
Okay. And you where did you move to?
Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
Temporarily.
Okay. So you moved from LA and you went to Jacksonville in 2018.
Yeah.
Okay. And Billy was still in LA?
Yeah.
Okay. Why the big gas?
I know where this is going. Okay.
No, what?
Or maybe you don't. It was a lot going on in 2018. And so when 2018, it got to the point where and I don't want to say anything or insinuate anything, but there were certain situations that were not conducive to our relationship, and he would get very angry, and I ended up in the ICU. So I moved back to Jacksonville, and then when I got back to Jacksonville, I started trying to rebuild my life, and then that's why we ended up kind of in Florida, and then doing that type of thing.
Yeah, because I remember, I don't know why I thought y'all was in South Carolina. Did y'all open up a club, like a comedy?
Oh, that was in Jacksonville.
That was in Jacksonville?
Yeah, he was trying to like get back in my good graces. Yeah. So that was like 2018 or 2019. Yeah.
Okay, and y'all opened up a club. I was
Billy
like,
and Coco's. Yeah.
I was like,
The
how
Comedy
they?
Club.
Yeah, like what they doing way over there? I thought y'all was still in LA.
Yeah. No, he was back and forth in LA.
Okay.
And then Yeah, after I was in the ICU, I just stayed with my family in Florida.
Okay. Can you talk about what happened? How did you end up in the ICU?
Legally? Legally, I can tell you a little bit, but his habits turned into rage, and those rage moments put me in the ICU. So I woke up, I had broken arm, fractured thumb, fractured jaw, couldn't speak. So I ended up back in Jacksonville. Then when he came to get his family back, the idea was to establish something in Jacksonville because he knew that was important to me. Because I was like, I've been in LA with your friends. I've been in Houston with your family. I want to be with my family now. My mom and dad in Jacksonville. And I'm not hearing what you're talking about. And I was still recovering from a broken arm, And so I was like, all right, if you're really serious about, getting your family back, let's, if you want to come back here, that's fine. But I'm not going back to LA and I'm not going back to Houston. And so he kind of made a plan. I put him in touch with some people, and then we made Billy and Coco's and started the business. And then from there, he started, doing, got in contact with my people in Jacksonville, got his radio job, and then, moved around a little bit. But that was why we ended up in Jacksonville. And then I had to recover.
Thank you for tapping in with us. In order to see more clips like this, check out this video here or check out this one here.